The room hummed with the soft buzz of computers and the gentle tap of keyboard keys. Jae-hoon Kim leaned closer to his monitor, his eyes fixed on a stream of data that made no sense. Yet, at 27, he was the youngest analyst in the Global Space Monitoring Center, a job most people found boring. But not Jae-hoon. Something was different tonight. The data pattern flickered. Most analysts would have missed it. A tiny blip, a microscopic change in the background noise of space. But Jae-hoon saw it. His fingers moved quickly, pulling up additional monitoring screens, cross-referencing signals from different telescopes and satellite arrays. "Come on," he whispered to himself. "Show me what you're hiding." The monitoring center was quiet. Night shifts were always calm. Most of his colleagues were either half asleep or watching online videos. But Jae-hoon was different. He had a sense, a feeling, that something big was about to happen. The signal was strange, not random, not natural. It had a pattern that seemed almost deliberate. He reached for his coffee, a cold cup that had been sitting there for hours. The liquid was bitter, but he barely noticed. His mind was racing. The signal repeated, not exactly the same each time, but similar enough to suggest intelligence behind it. Jae-hoon began to document everything. Screenshots, timestamps, signal frequencies. He knew what would happen if he raised an alarm. His supervisor would laugh. Call it another wild theory from the young analyst who read too much science fiction. But the signal was real. Outside the large windows, Seoul's nightlights glimmered. The city continued its endless dance of lights and movement, unaware of what might be happening just beyond the Earth's atmosphere. Jae-hoon felt a chill run down his spine. Hours passed. The signal continued, sometimes weak, sometimes strong, always present. As dawn approached, Jae-hoon made a decision. He would compile everything, every single piece of data. He would build a case so strong that no one could ignore him. His fingers flew across the keyboard, creating detailed reports, running complex algorithms, comparing the signal against every known astronomical database. The signal was unique. By 6 a.m., when the day shift began to arrive, Jae-hoon had transformed his initial discovery into a comprehensive report. Dr. Lee, his immediate supervisor, would walk in soon. She was strict. No nonsense, not someone who appreciated wild theories or young analysts getting excited. But this was different. Jae-hoon knew it in his bones. This signal was a message. Someone, or something, was trying to communicate. And humanity was about to receive a wake-up call unlike any in its history. Little did he know how right he was. The first step had been taken. The first thread was about to unravel a mystery that would change everything humans understood about their place in the universe. The conference room was cold. Yoona Park sat alone, surrounded by stacks of papers and computer screens. Her fingers moved quickly across the keyboard, lines of code dancing beneath her touch. She was the best cryptographer in the country, and right now, she was working on something big. Jae-hoon's report had landed on her desk 2 days ago. Most would have dismissed it, but not Yoona. She saw something others missed. The signal was a puzzle, the complex, mind-bending puzzle that refused to be solved easily. "This isn't random," she muttered to herself. Her cup of green tea sat untouched, growing cold. Hours passed like minutes. Days blurred together. Her computer screen flickered. Another fragment decoded, then another. Slowly, painfully, the message began to take shape. Outside the window, the research facility buzzed with activity. Scientists, analysts, military personnel, all waiting, all wondering. Yoona leaned closer to the screen. Something was emerging from the chaos of the signal. Words, fragments of a message that made no sense, and yet made perfect sense. Her phone rang. Dr. Kim, the head of the research department, sounded urgent. "Park," he said, "what have you found?" Yoona took a deep breath. "Sir, this is not just a signal. This is a message, and it's about something that happened before. The fragments began to connect. A story of conflict. A warning. Something that had been hidden for years. The first complete sentence emerged. Asterisk, we remember what you did. We have not forgotten asterisk. Yuna's hands shook. This was bigger than anything she had ever worked on. The message spoke of a previous encounter. A conflict that had been erased from human memory. More fragments decoded. Historical records. Star charts. Coordinates of battles long forgotten. By midnight, Yuna had compiled a report that would change everything. The signal was more than just a message. It was an invitation, a challenge. Someone, or something, was reaching out, reminding humanity of a past they had tried to forget. The military would want to know. The government would want to suppress this information. But Yuna knew the truth was too big to hide. She looked at the final decoded message. Asterisk, humanity's darkness awakens. We are waiting asterisk. Outside, the night grew darker. The signal continued to pulse. Waiting. Watching. First contact was happening, but not in the way anyone had ever imagined. The United Nations emergency meeting was unlike any in history. World leaders sat in stunned silence. The report from the space research team lay in front of them, a document that would change everything. Jae-hoon sat in a small room adjacent to the main hall. He watched through a glass wall, his hands sweating. Yuna stood nearby, her face calm but her eyes alert. We have evidence, announced the Secretary General, of a conflict we never knew existed. Old computer files began to appear on screens. Fragments of forgotten missions, destroyed space stations, logs from expeditions that were never supposed to be discovered. The truth was coming out. Military leaders from different countries exchanged worried looks. Some files showed battles. Others showed something worse. Entire human colonies had been wiped out, erased from history. Who are they? Asked the Russian representative. We don't know, Yuna responded. Her voice was clear and steady. But they know us, and they want us to remember. The signal continued. It played in the background. A constant reminder of something ancient and terrible. Governments began to move. Secret military bases activated. Research centers that had been dormant for decades suddenly came to life. Weapons that were only theoretical became real. Jae-hoon watched as the world transformed around him. Old treaties were torn up. New alliances formed. Countries that had been enemies for decades now spoke to each other. The threat was bigger than any human conflict. Information leaked. Social media exploded. People around the world began to understand that something massive was happening. Old military records showed strange encounters. Missions that made no sense. Entire squadrons that disappeared without explanation. Now, those records were being dusted off and examined. We were not alone, the Secretary General continued, and we are not safe. The signal kept broadcasting, sometimes loud, sometimes soft, but always present. Satellite networks tracked its origin. Military ships and space stations prepared. The world was changing faster than anyone could have imagined. Jae-hoon looked at Yuna. She nodded. They both knew this was just the beginning. Humanity was waking up, and something out there was waiting. The quiet before the storm had ended. The real fight was about to begin. The research facility looked like something from a science fiction movie. Jae-hoon walked through halls filled with the most advanced technology humanity had ever created. Everything was different now. Military and scientific teams worked together. No more competition. No more borders. The threat was too big. Computers processed alien signal data day and night. Strange technologies emerged. Weapons that could change everything. Yuna stood in the central lab, her eyes fixed on a holographic display. Fragments of alien technology lay around her. Each piece told a story. Each piece was a weapon. We're learning, she told Jae-hoon. We're adapting faster than they expected. The alien signal had done more than just communicate. It had pushed humanity to its limits, to its breaking point. New materials were developed. Spacecraft designs changed overnight. Computers became smarter. Weapons became more powerful. Military bases around the world transformed. Old submarines became something new. Planes were redesigned. Satellites were upgraded. Jadhun worked on communication systems. If the aliens wanted to talk, humanity would be ready. Every signal, every frequency. They would understand and be prepared. Scientists worked in shifts. No one stopped. No one could stop. Global resources were redirected. Trillions of dollars spent on research, on preparation, on survival. The world had changed. Humanity had one goal now. Be ready. Be strong. Fight back. Yuna discovered something in the alien signal, a weakness, a small detail that could change everything. They think we're weak, she told the military leaders. But we're not. New weapons emerge, plasma cannons, quantum computers, energy shields that could protect entire cities. Jae-hoon looked at the designs. They were beyond anything humanity had ever imagined. And they were just the beginning. The signal continued, watching, waiting. But humanity was no longer afraid. They were ready. The real war was coming, and humanity would not be caught off guard again. The first direct communication came without warning. Screens across the world flickered. Military bases went on high alert. Jae-hoon and Yuna stood in the central command center, watching as the alien message unfolded. They spoke in perfect human language. No translation needed. "We remember," the voice said. "We have not forgotten what humanity did." Historical records began to appear. Battles from decades ago. Colonies destroyed. Entire civilizations wiped out. Memories that humanity had buried deep. Yuna's fingers moved across her computer. She was tracking every detail, every word. The aliens spoke of a conflict from long ago. A war that humanity had erased from its own history. Colonies on distant planets. Massacres that no one remembered. "You destroyed our people," the message continued. "Now we will return the favor." Military leaders watched in silence. The truth was coming out, and it was worse than anyone had imagined. Jae-hoon analyzed the communication patterns. Something was different. The aliens weren't just angry. They were calculated, precise. More information came. Star charts, battle records, detailed accounts of human expansion that showed a darker side of exploration. The world held its breath. Yuna discovered something strange in the communication. A pattern. A weakness. The aliens wanted more than just revenge. They wanted something else. "They're testing us," she told Jae-hoon. "This is more than just a threat." The signal contained multiple layers. Historical data, psychological profiles, detailed information about human behavior. Military strategists worked around the clock. Every piece of information was analyzed. Every word examined. Humanity had a choice. Fight back or face extinction. The aliens made their position clear. They had been waiting, watching, preparing for this moment. "We are not asking for surrender," the final message said. "We are declaring war." Jae-hoon looked at Yuna. The real battle was about to begin. Humanity would fight, no matter the cost. The world changed overnight. Every country became one. Old fights disappeared. The alien threat was bigger than any human conflict. Jae-hoon stood in the Global Defense Command Center. Screens showed preparation happening everywhere. Military bases, research centers, space stations. Humanity was ready to fight. New weapons emerged from secret labs. Energy shields that could protect entire cities. Spacecraft designed for deep space combat. Quantum computers that could predict alien movements. Yuna worked on psychological warfare strategies. The aliens thought they knew humanity. But they were wrong. "We're not the same species they fought before," she told the military leaders. "We've changed." Satellites tracked alien movement. Every piece of space became a potential battlefield. Humanity prepared for total war. Old nuclear weapons were repurposed. Space stations became battle platforms. Every resource was used. The plan was simple. Strike first. Hit hard. Show the aliens that humanity would not be defeated. Jae-hoon analyzed communication patterns. He found weaknesses in the alien signal, ways to disrupt their technology. Global networks connected. Information moved faster than ever before. No secrets. No hidden agendas. The world transformed. Scientists developed new technologies in weeks that would have taken years before. Adaptive armor. Weapons that could change mid-battle. Communication systems that could break any alien code. We are not just fighting, Yuna explained. We are evolving. Military training changed. Every soldier learned space combat. Every citizen understood the threat. The aliens had made a mistake. They had woken something deep inside humanity. The survival instinct. And humanity would do anything to survive. Space erupted in light. Hundreds of human ships moved as one. Jae-hoon controlled the communication network from the central command ship. His fingers flew across the screens. All units, he called. Execute Delta Formation. The alien fleet appeared. Massive. Dark. Unexpected. Humanity struck first. Plasma cannons fired. Energy weapons that could cut through alien shields like paper. Years of preparation showed in every movement. Yuna's strategy came to life. Each ship knew exactly what to do, where to go, how to fight. The first alien ships exploded, then more. Humanity had studied their technology, their weaknesses. They didn't expect this, Yuna said, watching the battle screens. Quantum computers predicted alien movements. Adaptive shields blocked their attacks. Every human ship was a weapon. Every soldier was prepared. The battle was not just in space. It was everywhere. Satellites became weapons. Space stations turned into attack platforms. Humanity used everything. Alien ships tried to fight back, but they were losing. Quickly, Jae-hoon tracked the battle. Communication was key. Every ship, every soldier, connected. We are not the same species you fought before, he transmitted to the alien fleet. More alien ships fell, destroyed by weapons they could not understand. Humanity had changed, evolved, prepared. The first strike was a message. We are here. We are stronger. We will survive. The war entered its darkest moment. Yuna discovered something critical, a weakness in the alien communication networks. A single point that could change everything. We can break them, she told Jae-hoon. Humanity pushed beyond its limits. Technology transformed. Weapons became something more than machines. They became extensions of human will. The alien fleet tried to fight back, but they were losing ground fast. Jae-hoon controlled the global communication network. Every human ship, every soldier, connected as one massive brain. Quantum computers predicted alien movements before they happened. Adaptive shields blocked their most powerful attacks. The battle was not just about survival anymore. It was about proving something. Humanity was not weak. Not anymore. Alien ships fell one by one. Their technology overwhelmed. Their strategies destroyed. We remember, Yuna transmitted to the alien fleet. And we are not afraid. Each destroyed alien ship was a message, a statement of human determination. The psychological warfare worked perfectly. The aliens began to break. Their communication became desperate, confused. Humanity had studied them, understood them, prepared for this moment. The final assault began. The final battle came quickly. Humanity struck with everything they had. Weapons beyond imagination. Technology that defied understanding. Jae-hoon watched from the command center. Yuna stood beside him. They had prepared for this moment. The alien fleet broke. Completely. Entire star systems went dark. Alien technology failed. Their communication networks collapsed. Everything they had built disappeared in moments. We are not victims, Yuna transmitted. We are survivors. The last alien ships tried to escape, but there was nowhere to go. Humanity had learned from the past. They would not make the same mistakes again. Each destroyed alien ship was a message, a promise, a warning. The war ended as quickly as it began. Jae-hoon looked at the screens. Years of preparation, months of conflict, all resolved in moments. Humanity had changed, evolved, became something new. The broadcast that started everything was now silent. But the message was clear. Humanity would survive, no matter the cost.